All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a true piece of modern digital folklore, the epic, tragic saga of Surfer Boy. It's a wild story all about pride, betrayal, and, what happens when you get a little too bougie. So, our story kicks off in this super wholesome, peaceful pizzeria. It's all about a father's simple pride in his son, regular Pizza Boy Jr. I mean, this kid is the heart of the whole community. But then all that harmony just shatters. And it leaves us with this one massive question. What on earth could make a father's love turn into just pure hatred? Okay, let's dive in and figure this out. So, to really get what went wrong, we've got to go back to the beginning. We need to meet our hero before his big transformation, back when he was just the earnest, beloved, regular Pizza Boy Jr. The kind of son any parent would be proud of. Junior's world, man, it was pretty much perfect. Just this wholesome little bubble of friends and family, all centered on that pizzeria. But then his head gets turned. He starts noticing this new, kind of alluring crowd, and they're promising him a totally different kind of life. And this new crew, the so-called cool cats, they talked a completely different language. They told him they'd stop him from simping and get him bussin'. It was basically the language of cool, right? And for a kid like him, that was just intoxicating. And look, they weren't just offering him new slang. They were offering him a whole new identity, one that was bougie. It was a complete 180 from his humble roots, We're talking surfing, chiseled abs, even a galactic surfboard. The whole package. And this is where you can really see the split, the two paths. The son his father knew and loved, he was gone. In his place was this arrogant, kind of detached surfer boy who looked at his old life and, yeah, even his own dad, like they were completely beneath him. Now, every hero needs a villain, right? A bad guy to fight. But in this tragedy, Surfer Boy's big quest, it was all built on a house of cards, a total foundation of lies, all engineered by this really strange and, frankly, perpetually angry character named Lettuce Boy. So Lettuce Boy comes along and gives Surfer Boy this, noble cause. He says, you have to save the world from the evil babies. And just like that, Surfer Boy's new identity has a purpose. He's not just some punk anymore. He's a hero. But here's the twist, and this is where it gets really interesting. We see the truth. Lettuce Boy is a total master manipulator. He's like a salad supremacist or something, and he's been orchestrating the pizzeria's downfall the whole time just for his own gain. And Surfer Boy, he's just the unwitting pawn in this whole scheme. Okay, so things escalate. Fast. Surfer Boy keeps tormenting the babies until, wouldn't you know it, they actually do turn evil. And they get their revenge. They viciously sabotage him, getting him and his supposed buddy, Lettuce Boy, exiled to a deserted island. So now he's marooned, defeated. Our hero is facing what looks like an absolutely inescapable fate. He's stuck. The story itself is stuck. I mean, logically, there's no way out. It's a classic narrative dead end. So the big question is, how does the story get out of this corner? How does it solve this huge logistical problem? Well, it doesn't use things like, cleverness or survival skills. Nope. Instead, it introduces this fascinating, super meta plot device that just lets it bypass the problem altogether. And this is the crucial part. His escape isn't something he earns through his own strength or smarts. Not at all. It's literally just given to him by the story. The whole meta idea of plot armor becomes a real physical thing that he has to go find to survive. It's wild. And when he gets this super powerful armor, he also gets a huge bombshell dropped on him by its guardian, Armor Boy. He lays out the whole truth. Lettuce Boy was the real villain the entire time. He was the architect of everything. The fake quest, the corruption of the babies, all of it. So, just like that, our hero makes his triumphant return. He's been vindicated, he's more famous and celebrated than ever, and he's all set to get Boys' Night Out back on track in spectacular fashion. But, and this is a huge but, his victory came with a fatal flaw. Because he was armed with literal plot armor, Surfer Boy started to believe he was genuinely invincible. We're not just talking about confidence here. This is a textbook case of tragic hubris. I mean, he's just openly declaring it to everyone. I've got plot armor now. Nothing matters. He's completely dismissing the very real concerns of his friends and his new love honey woman. In his mind, the rules just don't apply to him anymore. And yet, the story itself leaves this little breadcrumb, a clue. It's a prophetic warning of all things, etched into a rock millions of years ago by none other than the long-gone Lettuce Boy. And it points to the one single chink in Surfer Boy's otherwise perfect armor. So then, the evil babies, who have no idea about this ancient prophecy, end up echoing it perfectly. They set a trap. And they're smart about it. They don't challenge his strength. They know they'd lose. Instead, they go right after his pride. And of course, he just can't resist. He has to prove he's invincible. Totally blinded by his own arrogance, he steps right onto that pile of lettuce, which, you guessed it, was covering a giant pit. He falls instantly. His plot armor couldn't save him from his own ego. And when you look at it, his whole journey follows the arc of a classic Greek tragedy almost perfectly. You have a good man who's given a ton of power. That power creates a single fatal flaw, and then his enemies use that exact flaw to bring him down. It's a perfect tragic loop. So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In this absolutely bizarre, epic tale of pizza, pride, and plot devices, who was the real villain here? Was it Lettuce Boy? The babies? Or was it Surfer Boy himself? And with a flaw as big as hubris, you have to wonder, was his downfall just tragically inevitable right from the very beginning?